My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire. Alright, now look. No ascension level whatsoever. We're going to be playing the Ironclad. We are going to try our best to get one of three achievements. Either one relic, feed on Donu, that is to kill Donu with a feed, or minimalist. I don't really know which one I'm going to be likely to get. I'm going to try and go for one, and if I fail that, I'm going to try and go for feed. The minimalist, the right thing would have to appear for minimalist to really be a thing. All right, I'm going to do the trade as well. What? Elite. Elites now drop 2 relics when defeated. Really? You have to give me that right now when I don't want relics. Game, you are mean. Actually, I don't think like this being our only relic is going to be successful in a no relic run. So I think now it's become, let's see if we can make a infinite deck. We've also got to remember, we aren't going to be healing after each battle. So we are going to have to be a wee bit defensive in situations we otherwise would not be with the Ironclad. Shockwave is a really good pickup. We're losing a lot of HP already. Alright, please don't injure me. Oh, cool. We got injured. Damn. Lose the max HP. Well, the thing is, I have to go for the elites, right? Otherwise, I'm not really going to get any benefit out of my Black Star. There's 3 elites on this floor, which is why I thought it's so important to get a very long duration shockwave going on, so that I have the actual ability to control and deal damage to them. Get the battle trance, I guess. Yeah, this is going to be a rough fight for us. At the very least, we do have the block potion, but unfortunately, we did not get our shockwave in the opening hand. It's going to make life real difficult. I could have used my block potion there, and almost certainly should have. Alright. Increases your strength, but also weakens you at pretty much the same rate, so we should be fine. Alright, you got Sundial. Every 3 times you shuffle your deck, gain 2 energy, and Calipers. At the start of your turn, lose 15 block rather than all of your block. Both of those are pretty ridiculous, actually. Let's remove the injury from our deck. We're going to want to remove as many cards from our deck as possible so that we can get the Sundial triggering often. I just really don't know where all the offensive power that I'm going to be looking for is going to come from. And that is to say, I've got 2 elites left on this floor. I still really don't have that much damage in my deck, all things considered. Alright, none of that. I mean, some of that's damage, but it's not good. Kunai, every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain a dex. Pretty good pickup, especially alongside the Calipers. We can make a very defensive build here. Especially in Ironclad with Calipers, you can actually end up with a just permanent block. Calipers can effectively be barricade for you. If you entrench at the right time, losing 15 never really matters to you. You just entrench again, and you get way more. It's ridiculous. It can be, at the very least. Ridiculous. Right. Making sure I use 3 strikes on a turn so that I've got the extra block here. 1, 2, 3. Then protect myself at 20. Don't mind if I do. Alright, I should be able to kill you before you get another action out. No, I'm not going to be able to. Damn. Just short, in fact. Alright, we're going to have a real rough time against the final elite on this floor. Alright, Dex Potion, gain 2 Dex. That's really going to be helpful for us. Actually, Iron Wave is also going to be a really good card for us because of Kunai. So we're going to benefit from the block better. And also Calipers. Makes it even better. We'll go for the Bag of Preparation at the start of each combat. Draw 2 additional cards. And the Whetstone, we pick this up after we choose our options so that if we choose an attack, which we did, it has a chance of upgrading that instead of a basic strike. Which it didn't. I'm going to rest here rather than upgrade a card because I've got to go for another elite. This is a wee bit rough. That said, there's a lot of vulnerability on our enemies here. We might be fine. 13, 13's 26, 9. Sure, we've actually got the kill there. Beautiful. And I'll block rather than bash here. I don't need to keep the vulnerability up. I just need damage. Well, at least I'm fully protected anyhow. Battle Trance. Don't mind if I do. We'll keep targeting the person that I'm hoping to kill next turn. Splitting the damage, unless you have AoE in this fight, just doesn't really seem like that great an idea. Alright, well, we did manage to kill 3 elites this floor. I'm kind of surprised by how well this went. Alright, Strawberry, raise your max HP by 7. Tiny Chest is gain 30 gold. You're 10% more likely to find treasure in question mark rooms. I don't need to get a second Shockwave. Alright, we're just going to be elite hunting, I guess. That's kind of our thing now. Beautiful. We share an HP value here. And suddenly it's not so similar anymore. Bye forever. Explosive Potion is going to be more important than an Ancient Potion for us. Especially next floor. As much as I do want that Body Slam, I don't want it yet. I want Entrench first. And Entrench is rare, so if I'm not going to get an Entrench, I'm not going to want the Body Slam. Should have used the Battle Trance there before I did anything so that I would know whether or not I had Shockwave to rely on, which I ended up having. Damn. I mean, I'll go for the trip attack this turn just so that I can get the extra dex. So that it's really difficult to harm me the turn after. Beautiful. And straight through the rest of your armor. None of these. Havoc does make our deck better by thinning it out. Nope, none of these. Final boss is... Actually, we're defensive enough that we can probably kill that final boss without that much of an issue. So I'm going to upgrade the Battle Trance here just so that I can get through my deck much more commonly and trigger that Sundial much more commonly. Here I'm actually not going to bash. I'm going to strike, strike, strike just so that I can start getting these charges on the kunai. Because as soon as we have enough charges on the kunai, it's going to be really impossible for the enemy to do anything to me. Beautiful. We should be able to fully defend ourselves this turn as well. Yep. Even that'll do it. Right, 12 incoming damage this turn. See how often the Sundial is triggering? It's ridiculous. I am going to have to use 2 defense cards this turn, pretty much no matter what, unfortunately. Because even doing that, this defend is only going to block 11. Ooh, actually, if I throw in this bash, you'll transform. 50. Beautiful. That Iron Wave is doing a lot of work. Because it not only benefits from the kunai, but it also triggers the kunai in the same way that Cloak and Dagger does that for the Silent. $16-16. We're gonna flawless this fight. Hell yeah. I mean, we're playing the whole hand regardless, right? I'm really pleased with this. This deck is kind of overperforming my expectations. And that's right, even my expectations. Defend, Iron Wave Strike. Even without weakening, we're in a great position. And easy kill this turn with pretty much any hand. Heck yeah! Alright, maybe we go for like a super high skull offering. Now, we had an episode recently. It was episode 155. It was called Imperfection. And that episode served to prove that if you take damage using your own cards, like how offering loses you 4 HP, that actually will prevent you from perfecting any boss. Or, do I want to take Juggernaut as a result? I see, the deck will be so much more successful with an offering. A Juggernaut makes like a cool kind of idea for the deck, but we still don't have an Entrench, so we're not going to be a super hard block deck. It's just we block when it's available. Alright, I'm going to take the offering. I'm mad about it, but I'm going to take the offering. I think I'm defensive enough that I can take the Philosopher's Stone rather than fill my deck with extra junk, which is going to make our Sundial less common to trigger. And also, Ectoplasm's just really, really rough when I already have Golden Idol. I want that extra gold. So, I think the deck is already defensive enough that I'll be able to use Philosopher's Stone. There are going to obviously be a couple fights where Philosopher's Stone is going to be garbage for us, but that's always the truth. Alright, there is a 3 elite path here, and I'm pretty much obligated to take it. Alright. Well, we'll offering first. Then we battle Trunks. I actually can play 6 attacks this turn, so I will. Even though I could have put down a Shockwave, this is a bunch of extra decks. Or I could just kill. That seems pretty good too. Yeah, not even the headbutt. If I had an Entrench, I would, but I don't. So I won't. Shockwave, double defend. I'll attack you later. It's fine. I've got time. Alright. Battle Trance as well. Don't mind if I do. Strike. 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 Iron Wave for some defense. Alright, we're in the clear. Pretty good. This isn't gonna have lethal. And heck, it's not even gonna fully protect me. Rough. Unless I do both of these. Yeah, that's worth. Gotta remember, I'm saving this explosive potion for a elite fight. An AoE elite fight specifically. Don't need to put anything like that in my deck. Ornamental Fan, I do play 3 attacks quite often so that I can trigger my kunai. Is that enough to make Ornamental Fan worth it? I know we're card removing. We're definitely card removing. It's just difficult. Do I take Ornamental Fan? Do I take Impervious, even? Let's look at the rest of our map. We could have a shop later, but we'd have to skip an elite for it. Other than that, in fact, this is the last space I can have a shop. Because after a shop space, in a question mark, you definitely can't have a shop. You can have one before a shop, but the question mark space after a shop can't be a shop also. I think we do take Ornamental Fan. You know what? I think we take Impervious, because Impervious is going to be so good if I do find a Entrench. And if I find an Entrench, I'm taking it anyway. That's Jax. That would have been for extra strength. I don't really care about that. Beautiful. Great. Battle Trance there. Alright, alright, alright. Give me 2 9 strikes. Nope. I'll do regardless, though. The Shockwave is kind of offsetting the negative of the Philosopher's Stone in a really, really cool way for us. This is 6 block, and then this would be 10 block. I would actually be protected this turn with an Iron Wave and a Defend. Oh, I've got to remind myself of the trigger of Ornamental Fan. It's also pretty much just 4 block a turn for us. Now, 4 block a turn might seem underwhelming, or sound rather underwhelming. It's really not. That's like a Metallicize. It's like an Orichalcum that isn't conditional, because I pretty much always use that many attacks in a turn. Which, of course, I have to say on the exact turn that I don't get that many attacks. Strength Potion is less important than an Energy Potion for us. Right. Yeah, this was always going to be the challenge. Alright. So we are going to open with Strike, 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 Iron Wave, Impervious. And the primary reason behind that, and using the Energy Potion, in fact, was just so that I can get some block into the ongoing turns. 18 defense I need to have this turn. Alright, so I only need 1 defend going on. Yep, because if I didn't have Calipers drag some block over to the next turn for me, I wasn't going to have an effective turn. Some would say I still didn't. Beautiful. Exactly on the block. And this is lovely as well. All of my defenses now? Don't even need to play all of my defenses. The regularity with which the Sundial triggers is pretty ridiculous, especially considering that we have Exhaust, Exhaust, Exhaust. So our deck is actually 3 thinner than it currently looks like it is when in full swing. We block for exactly 30 here. I think we've taken no damage to the enemy. We have taken damage as well. That is to say, to our offering. Singing Bowl. When adding cards to your deck, you may gain 2 max HP instead. Great pickup. Anchor. Start each combat with 10 block. Great pickup as well as a weak potion and an Entrench. Hell yeah. We in there. All right. Defend. Defend. Entrench. Now my goal is just going to be get back to that Entrench as soon as possible. Impervious. Defend. Defend. Entrench. All right. Now it's going to be really difficult. Like, this is what I was talking about when I was saying we just want 1 Entrench in the deck. It's going to be really difficult from this point on for my enemies to pretty much ever hit me. Like, if I just play Entrench whenever it comes up, and hell, I don't even really need to do that, I'm never going to be taking damage. because the calipers losing 15 block, the rate at which we're losing that block is never going to be slower than my ability to draw and then play another Entrench at this rate. It's the poor man's barricade. All right. Well, now I don't even need to play it anymore. Okay. Just play all my defense cards. No need to, but shits and giggles, I guess. Show me damage. Damage, 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 damage. And we go through our deck so quickly that we just get all of these extra charges of Sundial, which are effectively paying for the Entrench. Feed. Beautiful. Let's get Donu in deck and explore. Now, the first Smith is going to have to be Entrench and then Offering. So Entrench so that I can make sure that I can always play it, and Offering so that I can cycle through my deck much more quickly. Tori, whenever you would receive 5 or less unblocked attack damage, reduce it to 1. Pretty good pickup. Defend, defend. Iron Wave, Entrench. Should have been Impervious, defend, Entrench. Oh, why'd I do that to me? It's alright. And now we're Impervious. We can just hold on until we use feed correctly. It's fine. Oh, look, it's an Entrench. And we're safe again. Obviously, I should have played that in the other order, but it doesn't matter at this rate. It really doesn't. Now I should pretty much just wait for the feed, though. Hey, there you are. Play the Entrench first, just so that I can justify it. And here I'll drop a weak potion for an explosive potion. Power Through is pretty good, but I really don't want the wounds in my deck slowing down my draw because of the Sundial. Warcry, especially when unupgraded, does not count as draw because you draw a card and then you put a card back on top of your deck, and Warcry took a card slot as well. So it's actually negative. That said, when upgraded, it loses that. Shockwave always needed to be played there, so may as well just play it as soon as possible. Damn. That's bad on my part. I should have been fine to play my Entrench that turn. Alright. Fine. My Entrench with the Impervious. But thankfully, it looks like the next card I was going to draw wasn't even going to be Impervious. I'm fine. Keep myself 10 block this turn. Don't mind if I do. Defend, 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 Entrench. Start the train, especially if I draw the Entrench again here. Ooh, if I get it with the Impervious. Oh, but I don't. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Alright. We're going to still have some left over here. Not as much as I'd really hoped, but some. Defend Entrench. Beautiful. Gotta make sure that I'm no longer weakened, so we'll kill the Fat Gremlin. 36 and 12 is 48. All right, so we are going to take some... not going to take some damage this turn, thankfully. All right. Now, we should be, from this position, able to get the Entrench to go forever. I'm hoping. Regardless of what's happening, we're getting decks at a really reasonable rate here as well. 60 damage done by the backliner, but it's still not enough to break my defenses. And there's another Entrench. Beautiful. We're covered. We're not really dealing damage to the Gremlin leader, unfortunately. Which is gonna become a problem, because he's also getting strength while we're doing all of this nonsense. There we go. They're not gonna outpace me, but this fight could take a while. Oh boy. And the thing is, the Gremlin leader could at any point turn around and just summon a bunch more minions, like he's trying to do right now. I think at some point, I'm just going to have to go, alright, well now I'm well defended enough, it's time to go for the Gremlin leader. I think actually maybe now. Although, now the Fat Gremlin's going to weaken me. You know what? This fight is going to take forever if I don't do this. I'm actually going to throw both of the explosive potions. I was saving them for this occasion, effectively. So I don't feel too bad about using them, but I'm also not too pleased about it. Okay, Bash, Strike, Trench. And let's just make sure that we kill with the feed. Beautiful. Give me feet. Hey, got him. Get that max HP. What do we have here? Art of War. If you don't play any attacks during your turn, gain extra energy next turn. Might come in handy occasionally. And Prayer Wheel, non-boss chest now also contain cards. Not really going to come in handy. True Grit is pretty good because it's a way to thin down my deck while also getting a lot of blocks. So it's going to make the Entrench cycle a lot faster. Especially because it's upgraded, I'm going to get to choose what to remove as well. Which is super important. Let's remove a strike. Ooh! Entrench and Impervious are both going to be in my next hand. That's pretty good. Alright, 12 and 11 form 23, which means if I do those 3 attacks, I'm actually completely defended. Do I kill the... Nah. Nah, friend. Let's get our Entrench set up. And only do more this turn. Defend, defend, defend. True Grit out the strike. I've got a feed for that backliner. Unfortunately... Oh no, I'm not weakened right now. Beautiful. I'll set you up for the feed. I've got to make sure not to remove all of the damage in my deck, otherwise I'll never be able to kill the shielded parasite. Which could be rough. And actually seems like it is really possible with how we're currently running this deck. Oh boy. Alright, never mind. As long as we have hands like that, or rather the possibility for hands like that, we'll be fine. Start burning some lower defense, especially. Increase the cycle of the deck still, but without losing super important cards. And we're safe. Beautiful. A single body slam I don't even think this deck needs 2. Just 1 body slam. It's going to be more than enough to keep us afloat. And also to deal the giant damage numbers that we already have stacked up. We need some way to translate all of this defense into damage. And body slam is the best way to do it. Juggernaut is another way to do it. But at the point the Juggernaut was offered, I don't think it was the correct choice for us. Okay. I know Burning Pact is another way to burn through my deck and also trigger the cycle from the Sundial. But if I have Offering and Burning Pact and the other one, what's it called? Battle Trance, we're actually going to be slowing down our cycle by having another card in the deck. Sometimes we play the Burning Pact and we get 3 cards instead of the 4 that Battle Trance would, even though we're burning another card from our deck. Sometimes we don't want to burn cards from our deck. So, and also if we play Battle Trance first, we're not getting anything. So you can see the negative that we're trying to play around. I'm actually going to artifact myself here because this fight could be rough. If we let them shuffle our costs, because we have a lot of low costs. Okay. Our Entrench is set up. It literally only takes like 2 turns for us to set our Entrench up in this deck. That's why this is so ridiculous. Like, we don't need to play Barricade and then a bunch of defense cards and then an Entrench, right? Which would take more, typically, than 2 turns. We are so prepared. Oftentimes, out of the gate for the first turn. Should have used the other strike, in fact, there. Strike feed. Nope. Alright, time for boss. Ooh. Shame to get Offering in this hand, but I do want the extra energy, so I'll actually use it. And also, I played no attacks in that turn, so I'm going to get an extra energy from Art of War next turn. Boy, howdy, it looks like I'm not going to play any attacks next turn either. Okay, time for Battle Trance. Not a great hand there. We've got a lot of stuff that we would have wanted in that hand. Not much of it turned up. Again. Not really that great of a hand. Yeah, there's Entrench on the very bottom of the deck. We've actually lost our block. Woohoo! That hand's complete garbage. Please stop putting wounds in my deck. It's going to make my life a lot worse. Could have gotten 1 more block by paying my block at the very end now. I do have to save the feed for the kill. Want that max HP. Because max HP, thankfully, also gives you another score modifier. These wounds that are being put in our deck are actually completely destroying us. But there's another score modifier that you get as a result of gaining a bunch of max HP, and it's called Stuffed. We should go for that. Shuriken, every time they play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 strength. We do that quite often. Blue Candle, curse cards can now be played, which is going to mean that curse cards can't thicken up our deck for us. Extremely handy. See, against this against this boss, I still think I'm probably not going to take damage. I'm actually quite set on that. Use that Offering there. Okay, Impervious Battle Trance is a great choice here. Let's True Grit out a lower strike. Actually going to use a block potion as well. Impervious. We're on Entrench. And we've still got Offering in our deck. So I was thinking, let's draw back into our Impervious. Yeah, our Entrench, rather. Okay, play 3 attacks pretty much wherever possible, because that is going to make it really difficult to match us in terms of damage output. Dash, strike, strike. Defend and entrench, and beautiful. We can never be hit now. Now, usually this would be really difficult to achieve because you don't have the extra energy sitting around to do it, but the Sundial and the Thin deck together are giving us the extra energy to burn pretty much every other turn. $520. Who needs Barricade? Ooh, if I could have played more attacks this turn, I would be so on board. I was thinking like 6 attacks in a single turn because we had 7 energy there. But still, we've burnt a lot of strikes out of our deck. It's going to be less likely that we get to trigger that now. Alright. Single body slam. Come on, single body slam. All I need. I can't play 3 attacks this turn because I don't want to burn that feed. So if I can't play 3 attacks this turn, let's just get to 999 without a barricade. Don't mind if I do. Easy 3 attacks. I'm going to burn that bash. If I can get down to having a hand of just 5 cards, I'll be in a great position. Let's burn a defend. So ultimately, our deck should be Battle Trance. Well, actually, no. 9 was the correct amount. But this works as well. We can start considering Sundial to give us infinite energy if we do this correctly. I guess I never really need to defend anymore. Yeah. Iron Wave. Strike. Battle Trance. Oh, look, Iron Wave and Strike are back. I love this. This is cool as hell. Let's strike. Iron Wave. So I'll Entrench. Get back to 99. 999, rather. Strike, Battle Trance. Ooh, get all my strikes back. Don't mind if I do. Actually, let's feed for the kill as well. Nope. Juggernaut would be a way to output damage in this deck, but seriously, just putting 1 body slam in the deck is going to be infinitely more powerful than getting the Juggernaut. Awesome. I'm more than willing to take a Cursed Key here. Actually, I could even take the Runic Dome because it really doesn't matter what my opponent's doing. I build the wall, and then they never get damage through to me anymore. So I don't even need to take Cursed Key and then have to play curses to exhaust them. I can just have a Runic Dome. Time Eater, great. So now we don't get to feed. So actually, we're not getting any achievements this floor. This game. There's only a 2 elite path on the hard left. I do need to go to an early shop, so sure. Hey, there's the Entrench and Impervious. Cool. We did it! Our win condition has been met. This actually isn't our win condition. Our win condition, like this is part of our win condition? For sure? Then play Iron Wave there. Now, I believe the Exploder's damage actually goes through defense. And it happens on 1, so this turn. So I really do need to kill you. Beautiful. And we're done. It's too easy to set up, actually. That said, it's not like this arrangement of relics is something you come across every day. Like, as soon as we had these 3, this was possible. And we also needed Battle Tranche and Entrench and Impervious. Impervious is letting us set up this so much more quickly. So, like, a lot of those were essential elements, and we just so happen to have all of them. Alright. None of that. Sure, show me a shop. Show me... Ooh, oddly smooth stone. Limit Break actually isn't that bad either, nor is Metallicize. Removing a card from our deck is, like, non-negotiably amazing. I kind of want to remove the Bash, I gotta be honest. Yeah. See, Limit Break is gonna get better and better and better and better because of the Shuriken. The Oddly Smooth Stone lets us take off at just a ridiculous rate. I think I have to take Oddly Smooth Stone, and now it's like, do I take Metallicize or do I take Limit Break? I think I take Metallicize because Limit Break won't burn itself out of my deck, whereas Metallicize will. And also, I won't need Limit Break if I get a single Body Slam. And it is super unlikely I don't get any Body Slams. I'm also actually going to buy a Dex Potion, because in the final fight, having all of that extra Dex just up front is going to be ridiculous for us. Gambling Chip. At the start of each combat, discard as many cards as you'd like, and then draw that many. There's an Anger, which is good for both Kunai and Shuriken, but it also expands our deck in a way that we don't actually want right now. I do still have a lot of cards in my deck that I want to upgrade. Impervious, Metallicize, Feed. Sure. So I'm going to go the path that has more rests. Alright, play Metallicize, then Offering. Impervious, defends. Defends. Now I can Battle Trance. True Grit. Defends. Defend. Entrench! Awesome! First turn setup! It's actually super consistent. That said, every single time I introduce a new card into this deck, I'm making this less consistent. And I really want to introduce a single copy of Body Slam in. So I should try and keep an eye on the effect that that has. Although I think it will be worth it. It will make the start a little slower. Unless, of course, I remove another card at the same time. Alright. 20 in the back line and 52. Cool. I've got to make sure that I feed on the final target alive. Because with the Darklings here, if you feed on any one of them while the rest are alive, you will not actually get the benefit of the feed. There we go, 999. It's going to be difficult, actually, to kill all of them at the same time. Ooh. I might actually not have enough damage to do it. That said, I will eventually have enough damage. Like, if I'm in this fight for long enough, the Shuriken will trigger enough times that I'll end up being fine, but still, yikes. I can't burn that last strike. I've got to remind myself of that constantly here. Trigger to defend. The defends are now useless for me. We want to make the deck more aggressive at this point. We're going to have a constant kind of eye on what we want the deck to currently be accomplishing. 16, not enough, unfortunately. Because with True Grit, we are going to be able to curate the deck on the fly. I've got to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. And now I can feed. Beautiful. Flex. No, thank you. Sure. Gotta make sure that I get my things like offering. There we go. Great Entrench. Oh, I love how consistent this is. It's ridiculous. All right, your turn. We should really quickly kill this exploder. Wasn't even thinking about that. Beautiful. All right, not today, exploder, not today. This is what non-ascension runs like. I've got to remember that I shouldn't need to be so scared of one relic. Trying to go for the one relic achievement or trying to go for any of the other achievements that I still have left, by the way. Because they don't need to be done while Ascension is on. And I constantly forget how easy the game can be without Ascension and without playing too greedily. I feel like pretty much at the same rate as I got better at the game, I also ramped up the difficulty of the game, not only through the Ascension modifiers that I was playing, but also by becoming much, much more greedy and thinking that I can get away with it. Rage. Whenever you play an attack this turn, gain 5 block. It's already upgraded as well. Ooh, that's difficult to turn down. I'm not going to turn it down, but I'm sad that I didn't turn it down. Impervious. That's an extra 20 block. I know it's an extra 10, but it's going to be entrenched. Hey, there's Impervious. Beautiful. And that's... Alright. Play Rage. I mean, there's no reason not to. Alright, and now we're untouchable. Beautiful. Now, the really annoying thing about this is because offering is stopping us from flawlessing, we're untouchable, sure, but... like... what's the point? Unfortunate, is all I'm saying. Although I complain about that readily enough. This is going to be a slow fight. I really, really, really need to pick up that... whatchamacallit? Oh, I forgot the name of it already. Body Slam. I don't think it was correct to pick up the Body Slam when it was offered to me and when I turned it down, but now it is super correct to pick up the Body Slam. Also, I love the fact that this has suddenly become a Rage deck. Especially because this is the first time I've gotten to a significant degree, try out the new Rage. Although, as soon as I read the patch notes, I was pretty certain I knew what was up and how good it was going to be. Thankfully, we're up against a bunch of enemies that don't scale, so they're really never going to match us. Feed is going to be the kill. I'm going to True Grit that Entrench. I no longer need it. Rage is actually supplying a lot of our block right now. Alright, now get me back to my feed. Beautiful. Bag of marbles at the start of each combat. Apply 1 vulnerability to all enemies, as well as the happy flower every 3 turns. Gain an energy. Sure. Second copy of Rage is too much. Same with Impervious. We're fine how they are, thank you very much. Upgrade that Metallicize at the end of your turn. Gain 4 block, don't mind if I do. Jutsu Bracelet. Regular enemy combats are no longer encountered in question mark rooms, and... Sure, the Heavy Blade will get better over time, but... not really fast enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Alright, so killing a single elite is going to get us above 25 relics, which is another huge score modifier. Okay. Built Impervious. True Grit Defend. Then Battle Trance. Rage again, which now means my strikes actually deal way more damage than I... rather, deal way more damage. Give us way more block. 10 each, in fact. Alright. 202. Pretty good. Pretty good. Putting a burn in my deck? Absolute garbage, but the amount of block is fine. Okay. Let's get that shockwave out of there. And... actually really don't even care about the Entrench there. I care more about triggering the Kunai and the Shuriken. Stop summoning! Start getting these burns out of my deck. Ooh, this fight is starting to go south. Need a couple lucky turns with 3 attacks in my hand. And no, one of them can't be feed. I could start trying to leave these fire orbs on the field, but I really don't want to incur that many burns. Fine, fine. God, stop summoning enemies, please. The hands that are like all burns are just super depressing. I might actually have to use my feed as a kill here. On one of the orbs, that is. Is this fight gonna kill me? Just because of the burns? Holy shit. Fuck you, main stage dude. I'm just fighting you now. All these enemies are gonna blow themselves up on me. That's fine. Whatever. I'm just going for the Flame Bruiser now. Deal 25 damage to me each shot. I don't give a heck. Stop it with the burns! Alright. 3 extra energy and... Really? You gonna heal yourself? You gonna be like that? That's the way it's gonna be, huh? Alright. Damage. Just short of the kill, and that's a self-heal. Beautiful. So I pretty much have to get 3 attacks in hand so that I can get extra strength, so that I can eventually win this fight. That's what it seems like right now. If I don't do that, I'm not getting anywhere. At the very least, the minions can't really do anything to me. They can add burns to my deck, sure. But they blow themselves up. I really want that maximum HP. We'll get it. Screw you. I don't care anymore. Warcry Rampage. Rampage would actually go well in this deck, but not for... I'm not doing that to myself. This deck already has a soul. It has an identity. I don't want to muddle that. Let's upgrade that feed. Maybe I've just not been showing it enough respect. Beautiful. There's the offering. Obvious. Defend. Battle trance to fill that hand. Let's defend. True Grit out that. There we go. Beautiful. And we are safe again. God, I want a body slam though. Gonna have to True Grit all of my defense in this fight, though. Beautiful timing for it. Just so that I can make the deck more aggressive, so that I can make sure that I'm playing 3 attacks oftentimes. Okay, good. That's an extra strength. Give me a hand like that again, please. Yeah, that's pretty much what I asked for. And complete the defender. Again, get another defend out of my deck. Get that 3 attack meta. And it doesn't count as 3 attacks when one of them's that attack, buddy. That's not how this works. Need that one later. You saw how stubborn I was. That didn't suddenly just disappear from me. It's still me. Right, 19 in the front line, 2 extra strength on me. Okay, so we can't kill with the 2 we have in hand already. So the goal here is going to be trying to get all of them on relatively low HP so that on one turn I can sweep through as many of them as possible. Kind of similar to this. Just like a lot like that. All right, please. Ooh, ooh, this is looking good. And we are set. Beautiful. Ancient Potion, gain an artifact, not going to be important. Flame Barrier is okay, but it's still probably not better than what we already have. Really difficult to have better than what we already have, in fact. Okay. And there's the Entrench. That's actually quite a weak Entrench for us. Usually we've got 200 after it. Let's start focusing on those backliners really quickly, though. Alright. I think we actually might take a bunch of damage to them here. Yeah, both of them are defended. So I'm pretty sure the Exploder's damage goes through armor. It doesn't! Okay, I never needed to worry about them ever then. I think I know what happened. When it went through my armor, what had actually happened is I was playing a blur deck, and I thought I had armor on my next turn because of blur, so it looked like I'd taken damage, and after it, I still had armor. to which the excuse is, okay, the damage went through my armor. But I think I'd actually just play dodge and roll, which gives you armor at the start of the next turn. I think that must have been what's happened there. Alright. Easy life. No need for any of that either. We're gonna get the battle trance into the offering. Yeah. Not happy about that. Not exactly the ordering I want that to go in. This is gonna be a crummy fight as well. Just because all that garbage it can put in my deck. I'm not gonna take any damage, but yikes, my dude. Please stop putting burns in my deck. You're just making this more painful on yourself than it needs to be. And also, only half of the turns am I actually going to be able to deal any appreciable damage to this enemy. There's 3 more burns. Fight's just gonna get a lot worse. Alright. Can you please give me a lot more? You know what? Fuck it. There goes the feet. Can you give me more damage on the turns where my enemy's not intangible, please? Because otherwise, we are gonna start having hands where it's just burns. And that has the potential to kill us. Thankfully, having an Entrench in our deck pretty much anywhere is going to make that really slow for our opponent to achieve. It's still a concern. Managed to pick up some extra strength there. Alright, damage, damage, damage. Against them, you moron of a deck, not me! Damage, please. Just the strikes, it's fine. 1 strike. Oh boy. It's really hard to kill this deck. Like, the enemy is trying so much. But as soon as I get back to my Entrench, it's fine. You're gonna have to deal more than 450 damage in the time that it takes me to cycle a deck in order to actually harm me. That's not really gonna happen. Not even more than 450, more than 500 effectively. Enemy is intangible this turn. Give me some attacks next turn, please. Okay, that's 2 attacks. That's way more than we've typically had. Okay. Intangible wears off. Come on. Oh, man. I might actually end up just going through my deck a bunch more times and hitting him while he's intangible. And just dealing 1 damage every time, but eventually getting through. Beautiful. Vaj, I was actually thinking about how ridiculous it would be if we had bronze scales there. Vajra, at the start of each combat, gain 1 strength, and bronze scales whenever you take damage, deal 3 back. Another battle trance? No. Another battle trance? No. No. Alright. I was so tempted, though. Sure. Upgrade Iron Wave. That, drink that. Have I played any attacks this turn? I don't think I have. I also could have played the block potion before I doubled there, and again, almost certainly should have. Alright. Now this enemy doesn't put anything in my deck, so they're just eventually going to die. It'll take a while, but it's going to happen. 3 attacks in a single turn. Really happy to have it. One, 2, 3 again. And I'm burning defense a lot of the time with these true grits so that I can make sure that I'm getting those 3 off every turn. Not gonna get 3 off this turn, though. Because I could only play 2 cards. Which was gonna make that a tad difficult. Turn out the other defend and entrench. Because now I don't need to play the defense, right? Entrench is going to be all of my defense. And rage as well. Alright, we need to get you to do your self-purge. Which actually I think you're about to do. Fine, let's get the feed out of the deck. As much as I want to feed on the last boss, I also really don't like that I keep drawing it and having to just, like, specifically not use it. One of the big problems is Bash was super impactful in this deck. I don't think it was good in this deck, by the way. It slowed down the generation, but it's also super impactful in being able to put the vulnerability on the enemies. I never really found anything to replace it. It wouldn't have been necessary, mind, if we had, oh, I don't know, a single goddamn body slam. And time for some brutal murder. Goodbye forever. Heck yeah. Alright, that was a really cool deck. It didn't accomplish any of the things that I wanted, but it's fine. Highlander. Your deck contains no duplicates except starter cards. That actually makes sense, because a lot of the time we were offered a duplicate of, like, Battle Trance, for example. Of Impervious, we also were. Iron Wave, we were. I think we were offered another Rage at another point as well. But we specifically didn't take those. Because again, adding any card to this deck made it so much less consistent for the opening. And the opening was ridiculously consistent as is. We did beat the second boss without taking any damage. First, it was the first boss. And then again, no perfects for the rest of it, despite the fact that I took no damage to anything except for my own offerings. So that reinforces the same idea that the same conclusion I came to a couple episodes ago in Imperfection, that dealing damage to yourself rather than the enemy dealing damage to you does prevent perfect fights, unfortunately. Otherwise, this score would be ridiculous. For the moment, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.